the day. And the topic for today's program is what is known to everybody already. So I will be going through the topic again for today's workshop, which is essential guide for delivering an excellent project report. So our speaker for this evening will be taking us through the nook and cranny of research work, how to go about writing a research work properly and having an outstanding report at the end of the day. And I'm sure he is here with so much for us to get and gain from the workshop. So Dr. Yahaya, he will be talking to us and addressing us in about 45 minutes before the Q&A session. So thank you so much for being here with us again, Dr. Yahaya. You have the floor, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Adekunle. I hope I'm audible to everyone. Yeah, it's my pleasure. Engineer Balogun Babatunde, I hope I'm audible. Can I get a yes?
Yes, you're audible. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I'm really delighted to be here on the invitation of Research Gains to deliver this topic. I've actually sent the slide. So I don't know if you have it. You can share, Mr. Adekunle, so you'll be in control of the slide because I just want to concentrate.
All right, that's not the problem. So okay. I'll be sharing the slide shortly.
So, well, like we all know, there's this I've always tried to tell people about project reporting. Oftentimes, we all carry out projects in various ways, but most times, most of the things we do might go to waste because the future generation might not even get to see them if we do not report them properly. And sometimes, when we are communicating, we have to understand the context of our communication, especially when it comes to delivering project reports. Well, I think I had issues when I got the topic because I really wanted to know how to structure it. Is it, of course, I believe it should be undergraduate projects we're talking about in this context. Am I correct, Mr. Adekunle?
Yes, you are, sir.
So we are talking about undergraduate project this time around.
Yes. Yeah.
When we talk about projects, generally, it could be any other project, maybe IT projects, construction projects, and the rest of it. But now we're talking about the undergraduate projects, like Essential Guide to Successful Project Delivery, So I got confused as well. So even, a disclaimer, of course, we must admit that AI is not something we're going to shy away from. It has come to stay. And of course, with the help of if you go to the last page, I think I gave credit to the provider of this template. It's AI-generated template. And if you just put Essential Guide to Project Delivery in such a tool, it will only spin out things generic about our project management, especially the waterfall system, what we're talking about, the project initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, and control, and then closing. And then we want to see how those kind of projects is well delivered. But now we're talking about students who are probably in that point of their study where they would have to do a capstone project or a final year project, like we call it in Nigeria, and they would want to report it. First, even knowing what to do is something different. Knowing how to do it is another different thing. And delivering on the reports is another different task. So as we go on, I believe, even though I'd wanted it to be a bit more interactive, so I'll get to know the pain points and I could just go there. Instead of assuming we don't know anything about project writing and I try to go over it again, or assuming we all know things about project writing and I just pick pain points that I believe we can all benefit from. But nonetheless, let me run through the slide within 5-10 minutes. we can do this slide. Then for the 45, 30 minutes, we can talk about the various pain points and see how everything will link together. So the presentation provides a comprehensive guide on delivering an excellent final year project report, covering key aspects from planning to what presentation. So next, and then we look at when we, of course, planning. Most students, this is where most students, well, I usually give them the benefit of doubt that the students, in most cases, these students, they are just the victim of our educational system. Victim of an educational system in the sense that, hey, of course, do not prepare us for this, even though we claim that is what we are preparing the students for, because there is a fundamental element that is missing in the way we teach, especially in our universities. We don't even start with the end in mind. We assume students would need to know some key aspect, different things. Students we need to know some different things. And then we try to teach them those different things before we get to the final year, where we expect them to piece those things together. Let me take, for instance, if a student is going to be building rockets as his or her final year project, that is what is going to show the engineering education you have acquired while in school. But we are not preparing you for building rockets. We don't even let you see that the physics 111, math 111, math 112 you are doing is for building rockets. We just go into class and say, okay, what is velocity? What is acceleration? Difference between velocity and acceleration. Define distance, define time, and the rest of it. The student learns that. We get to 200 level. Let's talk about thermodynamics. Let's talk about heat. And the rest, we do that. As we keep talking about all these things and keep piling up the knowledge, we get to final year. The final year, the expectation is you already know everything you need to deliver a project. But now, most students cannot even connect the dots to understand that, okay, I was doing heat transfer simply because I'll have to make an engine that will be heating up, and definitely I'll need to do a cooling system that will get this engine cooled. And that way, we lost it. So, of course, the students don't even know what to do. And if you don't know where you are going, anywhere you get to, it just seems like your destination. And that is what we continue to grapple with. And that's why students, even at final year, will tell you, I don't have a project. Because where it all starts is even from the identification of problems. We have not been trained to identify problems. You tell students, go and bring projects. A student who is sleeping in a hostel, and probably he's sleeping on the top bunk, and he has somebody below, or probably, let me assume, okay, you are sleeping on the top bunk, below bunk, and somebody is on the top bunk. And maybe by sheer providence, the person on the top bunk urinates. And whenever he urinates, it gets you down. Such a student will come to you and tell you, I don't have final year projects. Why don't you take this problem you are facing now? Oh, I have a friend who urinates when he's on top of the bunk. I'm down here. Okay. So I want to make a device that can collect urine of somebody in a top bunk. That is something I probably have not seen or thought about, and then make that as a proposal to your to your supervisor. And then, you can all think around it. If he doesn't like it, it's come. But we don't solve this kind of problem. We don't even bring up this kind of problems. We all want to go and look at, we just want to use big words, and now ChatGPT is no longer helping anything. And you find somebody coming up with sustainability of this, that. And when you ask him the meaning, he barely knows what that means. You understand? So this is where we begin to have the challenges. How do we even identify problem that we're about to solve? Do we internalize this problem? Do we understand it? Do we know the key factors? And do we know who we are solving these problems for? And why is solving this problem important? If that is known, then I think we can begin to plan effectively towards delivering a very great project. Next, please. Then, if you know a problem, you now understand the pain points. For an instance, we are of the opinion, I have come to understand that most engineering students are here to get engineering certificates, but seldom care about where they fit in the whole, in the whole spectrum of things. The industry do not hire biomedical, mechanical, or whatever engineer. Now, if you, for instance, you are setting up a company, look at every element that makes up that your company. You want a graphic designer, you want a motion picture designer, you want somebody who fixes the plumbing, you want somebody who ties the floor, and you can see the word mechanical or electrical has not even come out in the people you are needing right now. And in the whole of it, you're probably just going to need 1 or 2 engineers until you deliver that job. So how will somebody who is just coming out of school fit into the scheme of things? The only way you fit into the scheme of things is that you prepare to handle, at least solve one problem really well, know how to solve that problem really well, that somebody is willing to get you on his or her team. Oh, I know how to write reports very well. I make great presentations. And then now somebody who is in the marketing or sales feels, oh, we need somebody to write our pitch. Okay, we are getting this guy on board because of this skill. Not because of he graduated as a marketing or as a business admin graduate, but because he has a skill that he could use to solve a problem. Now, we want somebody who understands data. We want somebody who can decode the information in data. We want somebody who can even collect data. You understand me now? We want to, okay, fine. We want to deploy, let me say, software to the market women. When it started, people believed they can't use phones. You know, but there was research that people came up and said, look, we have what we call the digital native now. Some of us are Yabani technology for, like, we just entered into it. We were not born with it. You know, we have to learn it. Today, remember those days we were going to business centers to learn Microsoft Word. They call it computer appreciation then. We have desktop, whatever they call it, desktop publishing, computer appreciation, and the rest of it. And then we have what we call computer centers, and those ones are teaching us how to do this. Today, you practically do not even teach your children how to operate phones. You understand? They do everything that they should do on a phone as if they were born with it. And now, that is the skill level that you are so convinced. Like, you give your phone to your daughter and you be like, okay, go to YouTube, go out. How did you know that she can? Because you already know she has that skill. How is somebody getting you onto a team if you cannot deliver on this simple process of identifying problem, managing, okay, defining those problems very well, knowing why and how you're going to solve it and who you're going to be solving it for. And then you are able to articulate, like we usually say in academics, your report is better than you. On that day, it's better you are not around and your report is around than for you to be around and you don't have the reports. You understand me? It's just like your ID card when you're entering the school. Your ID card is better than you. We better see your ID card and we don't see you. Then when we see you and we don't see your ID card, what happens? We send you away. Then when we see your ID card and we don't see you, we keep the ID card. You know, so that's to tell you that in project as well, you are able to define the goal of that project. What problem are you going to be solving? Clearly state your objectives. And how do we state our objective? Let me be specific here. For students who are here, you know, aim. You write aim always. We say for you, there's only one aim, but there are so many objectives. Objectives is how you're going to meet the aim in academics. Objective for us is the end goal in project management, you know. But for this, it is how you are going to meet your aim, because your aim is your final goal. So now, let me use engineering for an instance. If I say I want to make a more insect killer, I'm going to make an insect killer. What is my aim? Your aim, the simple way I'll just tell you, your aim is just paraphrasing that your topic to fit into actionable, you know, put it in action, put your title in action. You understand? So if you say, let me say you want to use a mosquito killer for sustainable design of mosquito killers for African and whatever, you paparazzi topic like that. When you get to your aim, just say the aim of this study is to design and fabricate a mosquito killer for Africa that will be sustainable. It's the same topic. Your topic, we are just bringing it down to the aim. Now, but when it comes to the objective will now ask ourselves, you've told us your goal, where you're going, but how would you get there? It's like when we say vision and mission in companies, where you want to be is your vision. How you're going to get to that vision is your mission. So here now, objective becomes the mission. So how are you going to do that sustainable mosquito killer? Then we now say, okay, one, design a mosquito killer using so and so software. You might not, because that software might even be, it can be in your method. You might not state that. Two, I will fabricate. After designing, I will now what? Fabricate or implement the design in so and so, or build whatever I've stated I was going to do. Then number three will now be I will test. Oftentimes in social science, you cannot even write a research objective without you having the research questions. What are you trying to answer? What is the main problems? We are looking at the impact of petrol rise on the purchasing power of people in West Africa. The impact of, then we begin to ask ourselves questions like the then you now say, okay, fine. The objective is for us to find if is to know. Now, an objective becomes the examination, to examine if the cost of fuel affects the chicken that people eat. So if we have this in our mind, understand that, okay, our objective is just going to come from our research questions, or how we're going to achieve our aim, then you are clear. Then you have to make sure that this objective you are coming up with, of course, we always think this, it has to be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. I remember when I went for my PhD, the question was, I wanted to build a device that straightens children's leg where they have club foot. That is, when your foot bends inward. You understand? Every element is in there, except two things. That research is not time-bound, because I don't know how long it will take for a child's leg to be straightened. I've never done it before, and I just wanted to just carry something, and I say, I'm going to design this, and I'm going to fabricate it, and I'm going to test it. And my supervisor calls me and said, look, are you here to invent, or you are here to get a PhD? If it is invention, we can continue to enjoy ourselves, because in 7 years, probably you get one leg straightened, and then we say you are free to go. But if you are not, if you don't mind, you might look towards topics that would allow you to just examine the effect of something on something. So when we just look at the effect and we cannot say, oh, this thing will have effect, this one will have effect, then you do your PhD and go. Then when you have the time in the world, you can go and do those research. And that is why we say people like professors will tell you, now I am a professor. It is now that I have time for good research. What do we call good research? Longitudinal research. You understand? Research that you can do over 5 years. But some of us will go and carry topics that will take us 10 years to do. I want to finish it in 6 or 7 months. So please, we have to check and see whether the aim of our research is something that we can meet within the period specified for us to do that. Now, to ensure a focused approach throughout your project, so make sure that whatever you're coming up with is smart. Make sure that you can measure it. You understand? I want to achieve 10 millimeter increase in so and so. We want to count the number of children suffering from malaria in Ilorin West local government. You can see now we are not, if you say Nigeria and somebody is waiting for you to, okay, fine, we'll see where your data. Somebody was in a PhD defense the other day and could not even go beyond the objective before he was shut down. So this is a place where you have to focus and learn how to write it very well. Seriously, your aim, your objective, I've told you, before you even arrive at this, as soon as you come up with a project, you're writing your project now, you look at, okay, fine, come up with the problem, know the problem you're solving. And I usually say, state problems, not solutions. children are not eating well. That's why we are making tomato paste for them. That tomato paste for them, is that the word you just made now, is that a problem? You're already stating the solution. So if you are not stating solution, where will you now put your justification? You understand me? The problem is children are malnourished. Find ways to paparazzi it. Make sure you stay within problem. Everything you read your lines. Read between the line. This I'm saying, is it a problem? You understand me? Children are malnourished. Nigerians hardly get this. Nigerians can no longer go to work because fuel is expensive. These are problems. Those are the things you need to state. When you'll be able to state this problem clearly. Now, because most of them will return to school. Yes, most of them will return to school after you have built them a new school. It's not a problem. That is a solution right there. Leave that first. Stay on the problem. The problem is students are out of schools. Students are malnourished. Because of lack of food, they don't attend school. These are problems. After you finish stating problems, you state your objective and you state your justification. Hence, if children are malnourished, we are mixing naturally available fibers together with organic materials to make good foods for these children. We'll be serving them food in schools. You understand? These are solutions. Justification to keep them in school, to help new parents own homes, to build a new system, to make them understand things differently. Just look at the words. These words are self-explanatory. Problem is problem. Aims is what you are going to do. Justification is why you are doing it. And what SDG goals are you contributing to? That is all. Then, of course, like the way people write research nowadays, they think because introduction comes first, literature review second, the rest of it, I don't subscribe to that. The first thing you do in any project is literature review. It is after you understand what is in literature, you can even write the introduction. You cannot just start the project with introduction. You have to review literature. So the first part that comes into a project is your literature review. What is the industry saying about this? What is the society saying about this? Who has done it before? You don't want to waste your time designing something, and just when you're about to graduate, you discover that thing has been done. Imagine in my class, I did something some years ago, won awards severally. In fact, one of the students that defended that project is currently in the US. The person who designed it is currently in Canada. The project is online. We've published it, one of my highest cited paper. And I went into class, I gave some students the same work. I say, oh, guys, you know what you're going to do? You're going to do a smart walking stick that could help a blind man navigate easily without colliding with obstacles. Do you know when they finished their entire assignment? My paper was missing. So many other paper was missing. And I told them, okay, fine. You finish this work, and how did you come about it? We introduced it, we did this, and they were trying to, I was like, look, in arts, you want to write original things. In science, yeah, we want original things, but it has to be backed by what is already existing. You understand? You are not telling stories. You should be, if you had gone through my work, you wouldn't have even created this same device the same way we have created it like 7 years ago. And then when we opened Google Scholar and we typed in that, and it brought these papers, they were shocked. You don't have to be shocked. You have all the tools around in the world today. Just open your scholar.google.com, put whatever, sorry, please. Thank you. So put the topic in there. Then look, if you don't have a paper that has spin out your entire topic, yeah, you are home and dry. Good. You are onto a new thing. But if you have papers that have turned out the same topics, you better start looking for where you have to make changes or improvements. Then two, if there are no papers that has your topic, yeah, great. Then begin to put your keywords. It is the keywords you use to make your search, and when you get those information, you piece them together to create new information. So you are in the process of creating what? New information for the entire world. And that is why you're undergoing that project cycle. Okay? Next, please. So research methodology. How do you choose your what? Methodology. The right research methodology is crucial. It includes defining your approach. For those in social science, is it qualitative? Is it quantitative? Qualitative in the sense that you are going to be describing the experiences. You are going to be giving out information that might not include numbers because there's no way you have it. The pains people feel in the going through divorce, I don't know how you can quantify that. And you say this person's pain is 90%, this one is 100% pain, this one is 10% pain. Somebody going through, or you understand me? I don't know how you can, you understand? Or probably somebody, you just received your or student that was rusticated from school. How do you quantify the pain? What do you think he's thinking about? You now say, okay, his own pain is 5%. This one's pain is 10%. Why? Because this one has father. This one does not have father. The one that doesn't have father has a mother that is a billionaire. The one that has father, the father is still... So you cannot. So the only way you can do that kind of research is for you to get information from these guys. And then you can compare these experiences based on some figures you have. Quantitative, you have data, you have numbers to things. You can tell us, okay, fine, 10 people are not coming, 5 people are not there. 5 people say they like it, 10 people say they don't like it. 100 people are subscribing to it, or mixed. Yes, some of them, you can get numbers to it. You understand me? Okay, he has this number of children. Okay, people that have this number of children, they face this kind of thing. Okay, what are their specific challenges? You get that through qualitative. What are the numbers? You get it through quantitative. And then for us in sciences, in fact, one of the persons that was shut down during his PhD last week, he was looking at flooding in local area. And he said the way he got his data for flooding is by going to do interview with people in the area. And one of the elements in the interview is frequency of rainfall. And the dean was like, how did the man in rural area know frequency? Do you understand me? So those things it's not rocket science. If you want to get frequency of rainfall, you must go and install a device in that arena that will let you know the time rain is falling. It may be on and on switch, the way we do in engineering. When it senses water, it will on and say, okay, rain has started falling. It's like me now, I want to say, I want to do power consumption. You understand? And I say, I'm asking you questions like, how many devices you have in your house? How many that is estimated. We don't want it. When I can simply install a device that will show us that, okay, today, now, like when you call MTN and say, I recharge, they just pack my this thing, they just pack it, MTN will not tell you, okay, look, you are the one that gave permission to some of these apps to use the data to update. Go and deactivate it. Simple. So it is not like I'm asking. So I'm asking people what they are. Don't ask anybody. You can install. That is experimentation. It is not a survey. You understand me? What you can ask people now is, I cannot say, okay, I want to experiment and say, let me know people that eat beans in Ilorin every Wednesday. The only way I can do that is for me to just ask people, what do you eat every Wednesday? Do you understand now? That is a survey. But if I want to know the number of cars passing post office roundabout in Ilorin today, I will now say, okay, I went to ask the traffic control guy, how many car passes today? He told me 500. I come tomorrow. I can't do that. I must just find somebody. If I cannot sit down and I cannot get the technology to count, I will find somebody that will go there and stand there and be counting. So definitely survey, experiment, analysis. These are techniques that you can select, and you know when you are selecting them. Like some students, you say you want to design, you want to make a new kind of candle. Yeah, or I want to design a device that will make a candle goes off when it burns to certain heights. What kind of survey will lead to my data? The only way I can do is for me to make as many candles as possible. If I may ask, do you know how many iterations of the Dyson vacuum cleaner was made before he achieved the one in the market? Without wasting your time, he did not just do 500 iterations. That is prototype. He did not do 1,000. He did 5,000 plus, maybe 5,167 before he got the one that will go to the market. So you can see the experimentation. It's not fictional, it's not survey and the rest of it. And now, do the method align with your objective? Some people will say, every objective you have asked, ask yourself before you put down an objective, how am I going to do this? Some of them, they will come and say, objective to make it sustainable. As soon as they say it, we get to method. Tell us the method of making it sustainable. He does not even know, because he heard everybody using sustainability, and that is the in thing. He thinks I must find a way to get sustainability to my work too. You understand me? Like somebody asked, he say, I'm designing a low cost. When you put a low cost in your objective, remember, you have said low cost. In your method, you did not even talk anything about finance. Definitely, if you have put a word low cost, know that financial implication is now there. You must do economic analysis. So you must show a method of economic analysis to now say, okay, fine. We went to the method is now, we'll go to the market and make pricing to see how much each and every of those items coming from China, Japan, and US costs. Then
Sorry. Can anybody hear our speaker?
No, I cannot.
Okay, I think it's his network. Let's give him some while. He should be back shortly. So I'm trying to reach out to him now. So but it's really been interesting so far. So and getting to see a new perspective to how objectives for a research work should go. So I'm trying to understand that whole your objectives needs to tally with your methodology. So that I'm getting to understand it in a wider scope. And that's interesting. So because for many students, we feel, oh, I just need to like put down the objectives and I go on to start my research work, or perhaps I go on with the introduction without reviewing any literature to start with. So now getting to understand that you need to review some literatures even before putting down your introduction is a new perspective to things. So does anybody has an input? Bennett, I'm sure a lot of people here would have something to say quickly. So if you have anything to say while I try to reach out to our speaker, you can just raise your hands and we'll let you speak.
I'm trying to look for the house, and I want to raise my hand. I don't know how. I can't even find it here. So I don't know if permission to say one or two things as regards this.
Yeah, you can go on.
Okay, so it's been awesome, and definitely these are the major issues as regards education in Nigeria, right? Many of us we have this static mindset to research, and in fact, many people do not even give a fuck or care about research at all, to the point that they just want people to just do their research work and that's all, and they graduate and get the fuck out of school. But with all he's saying, it shows that you have to really, really put in the hard work to do a good research. And while putting this hard work, you realize that you are proud of it because the hard work will make you to speak with confidence, right? Right? Is your paper. Look at is so proud of the work he did 7 years ago and how those he has worked with and all has been, scaling up in that field of study. So it shows the importance of research, and it also shows how um, the level at which we have to be intentional as regards writing a good project with respect to your tailored research title. So everything works hand in hand, from the title to the he said literature review first, right? Think about what you want to solve. Basically, that is the goal of every successful. That is the goal of academics. The goal of academics is to be able to solve a problem through in-depth research, in-depth thinking from others, and trying to bring in something better for the nation. You get. So, but many of us we just think academics is all about what you have in your head, how intelligent you are. Meanwhile, if you are intelligent and you are not actually solving a problem, then the school you went to is not too good. So academics is not compulsory, even in the education is not compulsory. Let me put it the other way. Education is not compulsory even in abroad, like the UK, US. It's not compulsory. They tell you that if you don't want to go to school, don't go to school. If you want to go to play football, go to play football. When you get to a certain age, they let you know that this is it. But if you really want to go into academics, you really want to go into learning and building something for the nation, then academics is very, very important. And that is the difference between academics abroad and academics in Africa. Many people, what we just do here is to just have the certificates. Nobody is thinking about a tailored solution in the knowledge he has to solve a problem in the society. I hope you get. Let me not say nobody. Let me say not everybody. A few people only thinks about this. Many of us will tell you. You see, some people will tell you that I studied estate management. There is no job. It's a lie. If you really know what you studied very well, you would see a lot of problems that you can use the knowledge you learned both in your research and in school to solve in the society. And you write papers about it, and you do your critical research, and you get rewarded for it. And that is it. So I think Doctor will be joining us soon. Yeah, I think he's here. Thank you.
Yeah, hello, Dr. Yaya.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry,
Uh,
my network. So I just switched from MTN to Airtel.
all right, thank you, sir.
Sorry, for those not in Nigeria, sorry. I switched from MTN now to Airtel. Okay. So can we get on?
Definitely.
Okay, thank you. So for our research methodology, we must try as much as possible to match our method to the objective, and we must make sure that that method will be able to, okay, for an instance now, if I say that I want to know the number of, let's say, the effect, let's say effect of dysfunctional home on teen pregnancy, right? Now, if I want to know the effect of this teen pregnancy on dysfunctional home on teen pregnancy, I probably have to, what would be the best way for me to, there's no device I can build as an engineer, place in everybody's home to know whether their home is dysfunctional and whether their child gets pregnant, at a very young age, except that there's no device you can actually do to do that. Probably, okay, you're just going to create camera and monitor every home, which is impossible. So definitely what we can do is use survey or questionnaire, the way you call it. So first, we ask some certain questions, and those questions will be able to tell us if you cannot just ask people, are you from a dysfunctional home? Then there's no more research. The answer will be yes and or no. But the research could be you ask them certain questions that when they answer those questions and you group them, you test whether that question will be able to answer the question you're looking for. For instance, in that case, I could ask questions like, parents have heated argument that you get to know about? Do your dad seems domineering? Do your mommy seems, so things like that. Or on a scale of 5 to 10, who runs your family? Mother. Now, I get mother. Who take key decisions in the family? Father. Okay. Mother runs the family. Father takes the key decision in the family. Who would you be afraid of? If, in the case of argument, who usually wins? Mother or father? And by the time you answer those questions, I will tell whether you are from a home that is perfect or a home that's having issue. Then we can go on to like, okay, ask, when were you first introduced to opposite sex? Okay, when did you experience your first this? What was your experience of your first intercourse? Before you will know with those questions, it will let you understand if this person suffers anything when he or she was a teenager. So those are the ways you structure your questions, and then you come up with the right methods to attack each and every objective you have. Okay, next. The slide. Of course, effective time management is something that nobody will preach to you because it's something that you will see in action. So, and this is very, very essential. You should know what you should do before what. Like I rightly say, a lot of people, they don't even consult a lot of papers before they start writing the introduction. And as soon as they do, when they begin to now read the papers, their introduction would have to change. So how about you using one bird to kill two stones? I'll be using one stone to kill two birds. Go through the literature review. It will help you write your literature review and also help you write your introduction in good time, and that will help you, because oftentimes when you have nothing to write, it is because the volume of information in you is very low. And that is why some people will tell you about imposter syndrome. Like, I feel I'm not good enough. You are not good enough simply because you've not read enough. How many of us are software engineer now? If I just throw it to you that, can you design a website? Can you design this app? It might be like you are going into an unfamiliar territory. But imagine spending 6 months, 1 year in that environment. It will no longer be like you are impersonating anyone. So it's the volume of information in you that is not that much. My project is big. My project is too big. It's because you don't have information about the project. As soon as you have information about that project, and the more you seek to know things, the more you get information about things, the better you become at it. And then that imposter syndrome will disappear. So definitely you should learn how to prioritize your tasks according to their importance and allocate them appropriately. There's what we always call the important and urgency quadrant. You should know them. There are some things that are urgent, but they are not important, certainly. There are some things that are important and urgent. Some are not even important, they're not even urgent. I'm writing my thesis right now. Then I say, yeah, Bisola and Baba Bisola, they are fighting. How does that concern me? And you now refuse to submit on the deadline. Then I say, what happened? Our neighbors were fighting, so we were separating them. It took us 3 hours before I came back. No, please. It does not concern you. It does not concern you. You don't have any business in that situation. You understand? And sometimes some things will be urgent and sorry, let me step out. I think. Okay, thank you. So some things will be urgent and sometimes they are very, very important. You have a defense tomorrow and you have not made your slide, right? You know you're going to like you defend the work using what? Your PPT's PowerPoint presentation. And now you also want to write the conclusion of the report. Imagine you are not submitting that report that day. How about finishing the slide first? You might not have the chance to make another impression. You might have the chance to rewrite your conclusion, but not the chance to come and stand in front of people to do that defense again. So definitely you cannot afford to flaunt it. So that is the way you must keep your priority, set your priority right. Some of you have not even done the design. You are going into fabrication. Oftentimes students, they think they want to come and impress their lecturers by fabricating, like I used to tell my students, all those junks, you know, but by the time you graduate, we're just going to look for those guys that say, I am condemned, and we give it to them. And they you know, because they are junks. That thing is just for you to show the dexterity of the knowledge you've already acquired. We've got students who did not even piece them together. They just brought the component and they graduated fine, better than those who went to give the work to other people to do. So it is your journey. It is you understanding what you are doing, writing the right objective, and stating the right procedure and the materials you use. And of course, you are now able to tell good stories about your results. And that is why we say you discuss your results and you state your results and discuss them properly, you know, and that way I think you will have a very good project report. So next. So now let's talk about the presentation. Structural writing. A well-structured report follows a clear format. Introduction, literature review, methodology, result discussion, and conclusion. I call this flexible rigidity. We are rigid on it. You know, of course, everybody knows introduction. You understand? Is what we need to know. But don't just be funky. This is rigid. Let that word introduction show in your reports, in your slide, introduction. And then you now say you wanted to be funky. Okay, instead of writing it as introduction, I'll say what we know or what we need to know. What do we know? You know, then literature review, the work that have been done in the past. You understand? Methodology, how we did it. Results. You will be surprised that with everything you stated now, somebody will still ask you and say, I've not seen your literature review. Even though you have actually stated it, please be rigid. Use these words across. Then the content, you have the flexibility to put anything you like underneath. Each section should logically flow into the next, providing a coherent narrative. Start with an engaging introduction that outline the purpose and the significance of your research, followed by detailed sections that support the findings with relevant data and analysis. So I think with this, you have a very great report. Next. So oftentimes, a lot of students, they'll just write this and boring. Of course, incorporating visuals aids like charts, graphs, and images enhances understandings and retention. Ensure that visuals are relevant, clear, and well labeled. Use them to highlight key data points or illustrate complex concepts. Remember to maintain a balance between text and visuals to keep the audience engaged without overwhelming them. And whenever you're going to use a picture that is not yours, please reference them. Don't say I put the reference at the back. If the reference at the back states Suleiman 2009, introduction to chapter 10 of so and so, when you come here to use an image from that Suleiman, why don't you just below it, Suleiman 2009? Note that in-text reference for pictures or figures are to be placed underneath. For tables, you put them above the table. Table 1, whatever the name is, then you put a bracket and put the source where you get it. This is not a website link. If you have it as a website link, know the name of the website, come and put it here. WHO website, WHO 2024. And you go back and state the World Health Organization, that is in your reference list, and then write the name of the report, write the link where it can be downloaded. Next. So effective delivery involves more than just speaking. It includes body language, voice modulation, and maintaining eye contact. Practice your presentation multiple times to build confidence and ensure smooth delivery. Be prepared for questions and engage with your audience by encouraging interaction, which is in conveying your message more effectively. Well, this might not be for academic presentation and you go start asking questions to your professors. Please be humble as possible with your presentation. Be concise, but when you're asking questions, you can engage as much as you like. But when you're making that presentation, be on point, stay within what you are saying. When you're at introduction, don't be too carried by the volume of information you have to now want to the volume of the information you have, you want to now start jumping to results while you are still on introduction. So please, what's it called? You should stay within the boundary. You understand? So please, next. Oh, now we are here. Conclusion. Deliver an excellent final year project report requires meticulous engagement with your audience. By focusing on these components, you can enhance your project impact and successfully convey your findings. This is very, very important. Oftentimes, a lot of students will make project reports. They will tell you their methodology, their literature, they will tell you their results, but they don't even know the implication of that result. And the discussion oftentimes, most students, when I want to discuss the results, what they don't get clear about discussing a result is this. Let me say, after making a product, for an instance, I can decide to test how long it takes for my product to break down. Okay, I will first start by applying certain force. And when I apply that force, I will see whether the product fails. And if it doesn't fail, I keep applying forces until it fails. Now, when that point that it failed, I cannot tell you, with the material I just made now, it takes 20 kilonewton to break it. I do that test again and fine. After the first, I got 20. Second, I got 19. The third, I got 21. Average is still 20. Now, with 20 kilonewton to break this new material I've just made, I'm going to discuss it. Where are similar materials? Who made similar materials? What can a material that breaks by applying 20 kilonewton on it do? Where would it find application? So those are the things we talk about when we say you are discussing it. Then you remember you have talked about some literature. You have reviewed some literature before, saying these people did this, that. How did your own result compare with what you claim that has been done in the past? Now say, do you remember I told you that the work of Suleiman, when forces is applied, it breaks as 15. this work has come to improve that work, saying we can get to 20. Or let me say, that work is saying that this thing gets to 30. Then my finding has shown that no, it's 20. Hence, I'm telling people to be cautious who are using it. Don't expect this thing will go to 30 because for what I found is 20. Or now I did a door that opens by itself. It takes 20 minutes to open, but closes within 30 minutes. What is the implication? What is responsible for that? Those are the things we expect you to discuss. And then when you are writing your conclusion, some will just say what we have made is successful. The research is successful. No, please. You are concluding by bringing the information of the result you have. You understand me? And the implication of that result. You must state your minimally, we must see the figures in that. Like I can just read your conclusion and know what you have worked on. You understand? The design and construction of this was achieved using the methodology you use now. State it. State elements of that methodology. Then state, what's it called? The results you find and the implication of it. So it was found that as the forces increase, the material quantity decreases. Hence, it's advisable that when caution should be used in this, then you put your recommendation. At that point, I believe you are ready for the big game. So please, I hope this helps. Final slide. So we will be able to, next slide. Thank you. So if you do have any questions, I'll be glad to take them. I remain Suleiman Abimbola Yahaya. You can link up with me on LinkedIn. And the credits, yeah, this is what we're saying. Oftentimes, a lot of students, we think by claiming we did everything ourselves, make us look better. No, you are lying. It doesn't make you look better. You understand? Give credit to wherever, whoever. You use somebody's picture, reference them. You use their table, reference them. You got a text from them. I didn't say you copy and pasted their text. No, you read their text, and because of that text, you are able to formulate your own. Reference them, give them the credit. And to this slides go was used in the template. Of course, it include icons from Feticon, Flaticon, and infographics and images from FreePic. So, of course, this is one of the importance of AI. And when we talk about research today, we know we are in that business. And that's one aspect I want us to watch, that you have AI as a calculator today. AI is just like calculator. Remember, we wrote our JAM where they told us not to use calculator. Today, students are now using calculators to write the same JAM. You understand? Because we've understood that, okay, fine, calculator is not the problem. Do you understand me? Today, we are still at that point of AI where we are shouting, don't use AI to write your research, because we have not understood how to examine you against the knowledge you are using AI to generate. You are the primary source of generating data for AI. So now if you're not using AI data to train AI, then we have come to the end of knowledge. And that is why for us, we believe research should be absolutely written by you. But for me, I do know, I'm an advocate, that AI is like a calculator that aids you towards delivering a very good work, but not doing the work for you, because you have to do a lot of prompting. You know, some of them, you just look at the dirty work they do right now. Just AI, design me a door that flies. And whatever he spills out, they'll copy it and come and give to a lecturer. You understand? How, on heaven's sake, if you want to design a door that flies using ChatGPT, you probably not need less than 20 prompts to achieve it, and nobody will accuse you of using AI. Thank you so much. I hope we have been able to add a little to the things, you know. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Suleiman. Well, there is really a lot for me to say. There are a lot of comments to make, but foremost, I would just love to thank you for the session. So, and I believe there are a lot of people with questions here. So, but before then, I'd love to call on my co-host, Bennett, to come on board now. Thank you. Bennett, are you there?
Hi, Adekunle. Yes, I'm here. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today's session. Doctor, really appreciate you being here with us. I've been able to learn something new. Case in view, when you said that we can easily check the problems around us and use that to generate research topic and also take care of the issue. I would say that's really insightful because when I was in school, during my BSc level, my project supervisor just came with 5 topics and told me to, okay, go prepare proposals on these 5 and see what you can do with them. Now, nobody actually told me that, oh, I had to go back, check around me, see a problem related to economy that I felt was a problem, and then tell me how to handle them. So thank you so much, sir, for this insightful session. We really appreciate your time here with us.
Pleasure. Thank you. It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much again, sir. So quickly, before the Q&A session, so I would love to invite our co-founder, Miss Abdurazak Oluwakemi, to tell us a bit about what we do at Research Gains, our mission and vision in about 3 minutes. So Oluwakemi, are you there?
Yes, I am. Good evening, everyone. My name is Oluwakemi Abdurazak, and I am the co-founder here at Research Gains. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. I'm having a bit of. Okay, so thank you so much, Doctor. That was a very, very insightful session, and I hope we all learned something. So quickly, what we do at Research Gains is we understand that for students, especially at undergraduate level, it is very, very expensive and time consuming for students to gain access to accurate and timely data. So what we do is we try to bridge the gap between students and their respondents. We try to bring students closer to their respondents. I mean, students only have about 6 months to carry out their undergraduate research, and imagine having to come up with a research topic, having to write your statement of problem, your research questions, objective, up to the point of writing your report, all within 6 months. That's such a long period of time. And imagine having to go through the stress and struggle of coming up with your data, trying to meet up with your respondents. That's a lot of work. So what we do at Research Gains is we try to make this easier for you by helping you with your survey, giving you access to a pool of millions of respondents that we currently have access to. And importantly, we're trying to one major problem that students have is after your years and years of carrying out your research in university, it ends up in maybe a suya joint or something. Your paper just ends up in a cupboard, in a wardrobe somewhere. It's not out there. Nobody's gaining from your wealth of knowledge. So another major thing that we offer at Research Gains is we give you a platform to, to showcase what you've done. All the machines and things you put together, we give you a platform to show the world what you've done and give other people access to your data that we have available. And another major thing that we offer is our affordable service system. Now, you can actually get more information. Because of our time, you can just get more information from our official website, which Sunday is going to put that in the comments section below. And you can gain access to our pricing system. We have an affordable system where students can, pay I think 18 naira per respondent. We bring your respondents down to you, and you have an access to millions of people that you need for your research. So yeah, you have the research our website down there. So that's Research Gains quickly. You can also join our community on various platforms. We're on LinkedIn, we're on X. We have a WhatsApp community as well. We're on Instagram and Facebook. We're everywhere. So thank you so much, and thanks for joining our session today. Thank you.
Okay, Mohammed, I would like to add one thing to just make recap what Kemi has done. Yeah, Kemi has said well. So, but from my own end, I want to explain more on the problem. So, students basically, even when I was an undergraduate, I studied computer engineering. I was told to collect data that has to do with the total number of data consumption of a particular family, of each family in a particular location. So I had to travel from Ife, OAU to Ibadan at a particular location to collect this data. So we spent a lot of time, we spent a lot of money because we have to, the transportation, getting a hotel, and moving from one family, from one compound to the other. We even planned working. We planned doing it on a Sunday that everybody will be around available on that Sunday. So it got to a point. Some people were stressed. They were so tired. They were like, what is all these stupid projects for? They don't know the importance of this research, and also they have to tamper data, and that's what students do a lot. They tamper a lot of data. They just go and doctor this data. So I sat down and I thought that, okay, how can we solve this problem? So, and this is what ResearchGain is all about. We are helping you for factual data collection, documentation, and accessibility. So you can easily collect data right from your home. You don't have to travel for location sensitive survey. Even for secondary data, we are ensuring that we are building a search engine that can help you get all African data sets that are available in the world at the moment. And that's for secondary data. For primary data, you can decide to collect it, target location, target age, target any specific demography with different samples. We have access to over 5 million respondents at the moment, and we are trying to build more respondents to ensure that we make the life of students easy, and to collect this factual data at a very short time and help them for proper analysis. AI is taking over the world. We are building an AI space, an AI feature that will help you to do a very good analysis of your project and come up with something tangible for that will help the country for sustainable development in the future. And with a very good research on our platform, you documenting your research it's yours, but we give you visibility if you want more visibility of people to know that you've done this kind of work before and you want to collaborate. People would like to collaborate with you and all. So our platform gives you that leverage also. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that, Balogun and Oluwakemi. That's our founder and co-founder. So, Bennett, I think you're here. All right.
Okay, so it's time for us to ask questions. So the first one I'll be taking is from Momo Abdul Latif. All right. Good evening, sir, and thank you for this eye-opening session. Before I ask my question, I'd like to say that your PowerPoint slides was really nice, concise, and informative. So my question is, for a project report, is referencing only limited to the introduction and literature review sections, or can there be an avenue for people's work to be referenced at the methodology section and the other sections?
Can I go on to answer that now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you can.
Thank you so much.
Welcome, sir.
Yeah, actually, thank you so much for your kind words and asked that is it only literature be referenced? Can one reference other people's work in methodology? The project writing, everywhere you will make a statement that somebody will now be forced to ask you, how did you know? please reference it. You are taking the burden off yourself. For instance, now, if I tell you that the speed of light
Hi, is the network glitch from my end?
I think I also can't hear him. I don't know. I think he's having an issue with his network.
Okay,
Okay.
everyone, let's just give Dr. some minutes.
Yeah, and they should kindly drop their questions on the chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, for now, please keep your questions coming in.
Okay. Sorry. I've been battling with the can you hear me now, please?
Yes, sir, we can. We can hear you.
Okay. So for every point where you get to and you make a statement that I don't want to use the word that incriminating statement. Something that you will say that somebody will ask you that how did you know? Do you understand me? It's not common knowledge. If I say the speed of light is 300,000 kilometer per second, that is 3 times 10 raised to power 8 meter per second. How did I know? Did I measure it? Somebody has stated it before. I will just reference that person. So the burden of asking me how you know has gotten off me. What I'm just telling you in essence, the reason why we reference is that, you see, it's just simple statement to say, don't ask me, go and ask this person. So if that person is lying, that is the person's own to carry that headache. Because lying is a serious crime in research. Now, if I not tell you, okay, there are more boys in Ilorin than girls, what would you ask me? How did you know? I've not been able to establish a methodology how I counted. You understand? I can say, okay, fine. If I'm not ready to reference, then I will now outline a methodology how I arrived at more boys in Ilorin than girls. I will say, okay, fine. I invited all students for a program at so and so. I gave them numbers and this, and I took a sample population of so and so. Then I saw that they are more. You can see the process I'm taking now. Too long. I could have just referenced Ajoke 2023 for such. And then you don't have to ask me. If you have problem with that statement, you go and read the work of Ajoke. If you have problem, you can go and ask Ajoke. That is what referencing means. Now, the reason in introduction, we make a lot of statements that we get people to ask us, how did you know? For instance, I did a research on hip protector. And for me to establish my research, I need to show that hip breaking is a serious problem. That when people fall, they break their hip. And now one of my research shows that by the year, and one of the, you see, apart from deadly disease like malaria, you know, that kills more people, I think hip fracture accounts for the more number of people that die after accidents than any other kind of fracture. Now, that statement I just made, you might not believe me. I will just find somebody that has worked on that to substantiate my argument. Now, there's another projection that says 50% of anybody that breaks their leg or their hip by 2050, about 50 of them will die within the first year of breaking their hips. These are figures that, you know, if you don't ask who told you, there will be problem. And that is the reason even the books, the holy books we are carrying, you know, the only way we can believe them is because we believe in, what's it called? In their divine origin. Because the prophets we are citing, people, higher authorities that are higher than them. Because if they are the ones to just tell us, to say, for me, what's it called? Prophet Muhammad, let me use him for an instance. Peace and blessing be upon him. He said, at the end of time, for us now, the sun is rising from the east to the west. That the sun will rise from the west to the east. Everybody listening to him there knew he has not done that measurement. How did he see it? How did he measure it? What is his method? The only thing he used to escape himself is what? God told me. You understand me? So that's a reference. So for you too, if you're going to write something in your methodology section that we let people ask, How did you know? Please reference it. So don't make huge claims that, what's it called? Okay, I'm designing a robot right now, and I'm choosing to use a dog-like robot, probably because of 4-leg stability. Do you understand me? I'm not saying a 4-leg robot is more stable than a 2-legged robot. I've not done any research. I've not shown how I compare the 4-legged robot to a 2-legged robot. The only way, even if that is mentioned in my conclusion, which shouldn't come in any way, in my methodology, I should reference a paper that said, I can now say, okay, according to the paper of so and so people supporting 4-legged robots, I choose my own to be 4-legged following the research of Suleiman 2024. So that is the essence of referencing. It's not just like we want to see people's name on your paper. No, you are referencing because you are using those people to substantiate your points. I hope this explains why we reference. Places that we don't need to reference are problem statements. Problem statement is critical thinking. If people want to hire you for a job, the first thing they look is how you formulate problems, how you are able to understand something, in a way that's, look, that's why I said problem statement. For instance, now, some people will tell you, okay, they want to work on waste collection. They will now say, people litter waste all around. Or littered waste cause congestions in this, that. That is a generic problem statement. That has not told me whether you are creating a robot to pick up waste. Do you understand now? Because that statement problem can go for somebody picking up waste, can go for somebody doing robots, can go for somebody doing social science research on waste management. The only way your problem statement becomes crafty and makes sense to me is when you now, because you want to do a robot that picks waste, you are now able to establish to say manual collection of waste by human beings using their hands. You understand? Makes the spread of diseases and what becomes endemic. Making such a statement makes me feel like this guy wants to replace people who are picking trash with their hand. You can see now that problem statement already states like, so now you can now come and say, okay, hence I'm making a robot that will be picking it for them. So human being only needs to use their own hand to pick. So that statement problem statement is no longer there are so many wastes all around clogging our gutters. How is waste clogging our gutters justifying you making a robot? The only way that justify you making a robot is that, okay, fine, the manual labor people do to collect waste, or the people collecting waste, they miss some of this waste because they cannot even class. Is strenuous, is this, or is not dignifying. So as soon as you are making such a statement, you are establishing the need for a robot. But there are so many things that might. So in your problem statement, know that you don't need to be bringing words that will be making us question how do you know? But those words, you can use them in your introduction. Okay, according to Suleiman, there will be 30 million wastes by 2030. More than 50% of the ocean water will be destroyed by 2050. If you make a statement like that, we will ask you, how do you know? Therefore, you must quote or you must cite the person that makes such statements in earlier research. Thank you.
All right. I think okay.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for that answer. Please, everyone, keep your questions coming in. You can also raise your hands. Abubakar Abdullahi, your hand is raised. Are you here? Abubakar Abdullahi, please ask your question.
Thanks for the lecture. We really appreciate it. Yes, I want to ask a question about like the aspect where we used to introduce the questionnaire and maybe discussion to get maybe some information and data. Like I usually get confused in the aspect that when like we usually use questionnaire, like let me just bring a topic like the use of seat belt in maybe within and among drivers in a long, maybe the use of seat belt as example like this, and like want to maybe want to introduce an and what is this thing? Want to introduce a questionnaire or a discussion, or like what I want to actually ask is that what's the difference between like using questionnaire to get information and then like and using discussion, like the topic that I just mentioned now, like in the research we actually did, we use discussion and we still use questionnaire, like asking question from the driver and also using questionnaire, like using the two together is like it's somehow complicated to me. Like I don't.
Abib, your question is in what place should we use qualitative survey and at what point should we use quantitative survey, right?
But at like at the point that we the research we actually work on, like we use the two like together. That was like
Okay, and at what point should we use the two?
yes, like I don't understand that. Can we use it together and then
And
like
we okay.
what's the difference between the two? Like what is the difference between the two?
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Abdullah, for that question. Well, I'll ask you questions now. Please be unmuted so we get to do this practically now. Do you have 10 million naira in your account?
No, sir.
You don't. Okay. So now, do you have up to 10,000 naira in your account?
Yes.
Eh?
Yes.
Okay, yes, right?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you have 10 million naira in your account?
Because my income is not up to that. Like,
okay, now, thank you so much for that answer. You see, the first, it's easier for me to know how much you have in your account without asking you how much you have in your account. You understand me? By me just coming up with some gradients that I know, okay, fine. Let me ask him if he has up to 10,000, if he has up to 100,000, if you have up to 1 million, if you have up to 10 million. Do you understand me now? So I can continue to list and I will be right. You understand? With maybe 5, I should be able to get it. Even in 3 statements, even in 2, these are Boolean kind of questions where it is either true or false. You understand me? So if the question looks like true or false, you are still on quantitative. If the question looks like it has a number to it where I can just put some grade, some graduations, and I'll be able to get it. You understand? Then I'll use what? Quantitative. But now, huh?
Actually, we use both the two. We introduce both.
Wait now. I'm getting there. You want to know why you use the two. Do you understand me? The reason you use the two is there are information you can get by putting questions where you already know the most likely possible answers. Do you understand? But you know, I cannot tell why you don't have 10 million naira in your account. Can I? It could be like you had it yesterday night and you were robbed. So if you don't use your mouth to tell me, I won't be able to know.
Yes.
The reason. Do you understand me? Have you eaten since morning? Abubakar,
yes, sir.
Have you eaten since morning?
Yes.
Yes,
sir.
Now, you see the reason. The question is, if I want to know if you have eaten since morning, I can ask that question and can just put yes or no. Is that not? Do you understand me? But the reason why you have eaten and the reason why you have not eaten, can I know for asking in any other way apart from just asking you for you to tell me?
No.
So that is the reason you use this. And anytime you are mixing them up, it's because you still want to get the people's opinion. Oftentimes, you know my own formula of doing it. I say, if the question comes with why, know that quantitative cannot do it.
Okay.
If you want to get why, know that quantitative cannot do it. You go qualitative. So definitely there are some people, only quantitative will not answer your questions. Only quantitative will not answer your question for some people. Some people, you will mix it. You want to know, okay, what spectrum of people are suffering from something. You get it. But you don't know why they are suffering from that thing. You don't know what their experience are. has been like, okay, are you a single mother? Are you able to send your children to school? All those questions we can get. Then we can say, okay, these are the number of people or number of single mother we have in Ilorin. But all of them have different experience. So you cannot say the experiences of single mother.
Okay.
You now be asking them, hey, my boyfriend usually beat me. I enjoy my boyfriend. You cannot answer that quantitatively. So you have to be qualitative. So when we spoke to A, she said our boyfriend usually pay her school fees. When we spoke to B, he said the boyfriend does not even want to see her.
Okay.
Do you understand me? So depending on the kind of question you are asking, depending on that is when you will know whether you are probing. When you use qualitative, we call it probing. You are asking beyond the information a questionnaire will easily capture. You understand? Because you don't want a questionnaire is close-ended. You are asking from one point to another. Do you understand me now?
Yes, sir.
So, but for qualitative, you can get insights that ordinarily you yourself might not be able to generate. So, and those your insight might not be, like for instance, if you can generate it and becomes all options, fine, you can go quantitative, no problem. But usually you cannot get people's experience from quantitative research. You understand me? And that's why serious PhD research, they will tell you you should use mixed method. You understand me? Where you first get the demography of people suffering from something. You know now, for instance, now, if you want to identify, let me say, I want you to ask Muslims questions. You want to ask Muslims questions. Do you understand me? Like, ask them, who is Prophet Muhammad? What do you want to do first? You want to isolate who are Muslims, who are Christians. Is not the first thing you do.
Yeah,
that one will not be a qualitative. That one is all qualitative. Just a quantitative question of, are you a Muslim? Yes or no? Or in this case, you understand me? If you're a Muslim, tick one. If you're a Christian, tick one. It will solve your question. Do you understand me? But how everybody understand the question you are going to ask them. Now, without quantitative, what happened? You are able to isolate the people you want to ask questions. So now you get them, okay, of our 30 respondents, we got 20 of them to be Muslims. Those 20 Muslims now, we can now go to them and ask them. All of us will have different experience. Do you understand me? As a Muslim, how do you see the Igbo tribes? How do you understand? Now, everybody will begin to relay their experience because you don't want to just generalize. You understand? That will help you. You understand? So oftentimes you use mixed method where you need to, sometimes you might use the qualitative before quantitative. But oftentimes quantitative will be used to isolate some of the study, what's it called? Demography. Then you will now use qualitative to get more information, to probe, to get more information. So oftentimes quantitative will help you validate what you are knowing or what you know. You understand? Qualitative will help you generate new information completely. The manner you are not see, you think people are not suffering in Ilorin? Go and ask them. You will be surprised at suffering. You understand? You will even be surprised that do that exist? You understand those kind of things. So I think sorry guys for those not in Ilorin. Ilorin is always present in my examples because I'm here. And that's why I'm trying to let people know that everything has to be local. Problem you want to solve has to go local too. You know, like my sister rightly said, most of us, we are going to generate ideas of projects we have never seen. Do you understand me? You know, but the things, the stove, even the amala making machine, we don't even have amala making machine. You understand me? You know, and now we graduated how many mechanical engineers in this country? You understand? So definitely until we begin to look at our local problems, you understand, before we can say we can compete in the committee of whatever where knowledge is being discussed. But for now, we still just want to, as soon as look at AI, we are all into AI right now. But thank God for the young man who just went into AI, create a pidgin version for us to be able to, you know, and the rest of it. Like, so those are the things we are talking about. Okay, this AI, you are talking to AI. AI doesn't speak pidgin. Okay, let me create AI that can speak pidgin. That is a fantastic problem. New, you understand? It can communicate with market women. You understand? A market woman can just say, hello AI, rain go fall today, make I go market, make I buy a lubo, you understand that kind of thing. And the thing will reply in that language. That is solving that local problem. But you know, until we begin to come local and come home, you understand, then we'll begin to get these results. Thank God you did a local research, you interviewed taxi drivers and all. But when you are carrying out that interview, You understand? And the questions are not questions that you have graded already, where they have to just choose options. You are doing qualitative. If you have given them options to choose and you know there are metrics for you to now put those options easily into bar chart, histogram, and the rest of it, that is quantitative. And oftentimes you, of course, the philosophy behind your research, you must know. You understand? There are so many things about that. I think we can discuss that in later editions. And I hope Research Gains 2 will invite more professionals to deal with that. Thank you so much, Mr. Abdullah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insightful feedback. Habib Akinsola, your hand is up. Are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. Please go ahead.
Okay. So I have a question for Dr. Yahaya about the literature review part, because it's an issue I also had while I was working on my final year project. I checked for literature review on that particular project, and I could only find about 2 projects that have been worked on like that in the past, and there's a minimum criteria you have to meet. So I want to ask him, for the sake of other undergraduate students here, what are the tips? Because you mentioned checking for keywords when you can't find your exact project, but sometimes these students can be lost in which keyword to check for, and to be careful not to just model the literature review and start using literature review of projects that are not really related. So what are some tips for finding literature review if you can't find the ones that are directly related to the project, sir?
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Habib. I think most students, what they are usually looking out for when they are writing literature review is what I call the chronological literature review. They all want to, like, okay, for instance, I'm doing let me say, a smart baby warmer. You understand? And they want to come up with, they go and search smart baby warmer and download all papers about smart baby warmer. And they come and say, in 2001, Suleiman did smart baby. In 2002, Lagbaja did. In 2003, that is chronology. You are trying to just list them, itemize smart baby warmers. But I tell you, anytime you search a topic and your topic is appearing online, my brother, you are doing the wrong research, because somebody has already beaten you to that game. You understand? The way you do a literature review, you see the way you call it, we are reviewing literature of what exists. Look, for you to say you want to do a baby warmer, you have an idea of what a baby warmer looks like. Okay, you understand? That idea you have, break it down into components. Do you understand me? Even, okay, a baby warmer, explain it to a layman, it will be a box that will have a heating device, that probably have a fan that will circulate that heating around. That is all we need. You understand now? Okay, now let's go and see, are they devices that are boxed, and what are they used for? Do you understand now? We begin to answer the questions. First, even before you now even go into the product itself, what is the problem we are solving? Okay, now, kids, baby warmer, why do we have to warm babies? Do you understand me now? Okay, they are born prematurely. Now, you can see now, warming baby is a keyword. Do you understand me? Premature baby is a keyword. Have you finished this? When you want to discover premature baby, if you type premature baby into a Google, I believe you will find more than 4,000 or 4 million papers that will speak on premature babies. And you can get as many information as you want to get there. First, you want to use that to first justify that, okay, there are premature babies that will need a baby warmer. Do you understand me? Okay, what are other devices that have been created to help babies? Do you understand me? By the time you finish talking about that, you are narrowing down now into, okay, fine. For babies who are born prematurely, how have they been managed? So now it is no longer you are talking about your baby warmer, you are just talking about management of these babies. You understand now? Okay, babies have been prematurely have been managed with, okay, they have been managed with incubator, they have been managed with baby warmer, they have been managed with smart or non-smart, they have managed with solar powered, and you can mention as many as possible, and you're having references to them. Do you understand me? Then as you are talking, you are creating an argument. It's not just about you talking about baby warmer because you are doing warmer. Now, the baby warmer you're about to do, okay, you now know, okay, there's heating devices. Okay, now talk about different type of heating devices. And by the time you talk about that, you already have like 5 references. Okay, this person did a hitting device, but it's big. I won't be using that one. But you have to let us know. So somebody will not just go and take you up and say, you are using this one, why not that one? But in the literature, you have shown it that, okay, this person did his own. Okay, this person did his own using phototherapy light. This other person did his own, combine it with a sonar sensor and the rest of it like that. As you continue to do that, you'll be able to add up references. You understand? So this is not just amalgamation of references of baby warmer that exist. No. Your lecturer too can also search and get baby warmers that exist. It's just for you to tell stories and let those stories connect. Do you understand? I mean, I told you about my hip protector. If you go and read my work, the entire time I mentioned hip protector in that work might be maybe less than 5. And I did about 200 references. The first is for me to even first establish fracture and know that people fracture their hips. The second is for me to get the information from literature to see, okay, how dangerous this hip fracture is. What is the projections made? If I'm setting a projection, that will come with a reference. Because people ask me, how would you know that 50,000 people will? You understand the rest of it? So those are the things that make up your literature review. It's not just talking about the work, talking about the actual thing. You understand? Somebody that is doing robots, robots will imply this. You have to do share, you have to do the motor, you have to do the coding and the rest of it. All those things. Okay, what are the kind of coding that has been done? You understand? How did they implement it? All those things are the questions you answer, and as you're answering them, your references is piling up. So it's a good thing when you search and you don't get your topic online. It's a very, very good thing. The only thing you should know is that piecing them together, piecing your story together to make that, you understand, is what is beautiful, is what is going to be that literature review we are talking about. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yahaya. So this is a question from Balogun Babatunde, our founder. The question is, must all projects have limitations?
Oh, great. You see, the good, I love that question. You understand? Yes, the good thing is nobody can do everything. That is why we have scope. Scope is the opposite of limitation. Scope is what we are going to do. Limitation is what we are not going to do or what we couldn't do. Do you understand me? So every study must have. Every study must have. Do you understand me? Because sometimes you want to let people know where to stop. If I tell you I'm doing a smart walking stick, if you say something is smart, is that thing not supposed to see me and say, welcome, Mr. Suleiman? Miss Bennett? Right?
Yes.
The thing should see me. When you say something is smart, you understand? You say this kid is smart, and I appear to that kid. The kid should be saying, welcome, Mr. Suleiman. You are 37 years old. You are this. You are the HOD of Bamedi. That is when I assume something is smart. Is that not it?
Yes, sir.
If you have not tell me where your limitation is, I'll be having unnecessary expectation. So you tell me, look, I've called this thing smart, but the only thing this thing does is recognize obstacles. If you are obstacles, it will shout. If you are not obstacles, it will not shout. This thing I'm doing will not know your name. It cannot tell you somebody's name. Do you understand me? So now, that is the essence of it. So not to create unnecessary expectation, just bound people by the level of your own research. Do you understand me now? So even about Einstein, he only stated a theory. Theory of relativity. He didn't test it. The limitation is that he has not been tested. If he has tested, he will call it a law. He didn't test it because he could not even test it. There was no technology for him to. It was after he's gone that some people started testing most of the things he's talking about. And as they find it good, they'll turn them into law. So now there must be scope. And your scope is what you are going to do. Oftentimes, we write scopes in reverse by saying the limitations. Saying, look, I call it a smart robot. What I mean by smart robot is it will walk up to you and open so you can take your drug. It will not say, lie down, let me give you injection. I know the dose. That will not work. So you must state your limitations. So, or you state it as scope. Is that a scope? Or you state it as what? Limitation. So probably when you are writing proposal, you write it as scope. When you are writing your report, you write it as limitation. So the limitation of this project is it cannot go beyond so and so. You've done a research now talking about, okay, early pregnancy in the north. Now, instead of you to use the word north, you say early pregnancy in Nigeria. Somebody in Jos or somebody in Enugu is now reading the report. You will not be looking like, which Nigeria is this one talking about? will it not be easy for you to just say, this research, though we say it's Nigeria, then we are talking about northern Nigeria. So somebody from Igbo land will not say, he's a liar. Look at what he's saying about Nigeria. It's not true. Look at the way they are talking about bandits. Somebody abroad is even afraid to come home. Then you find somebody in Lagos, he will be telling you what is bandits. He doesn't even know. Then call somebody in Niger. That one will tell you they have not gone out. You know that kind of thing. So every project has limitation, and it must be well defined and stated. If not, it will be creating a necessary expectation. You understand? So you are using that. It's not like you are shooting down your work. You see, students, they always want to look good. You understand? You know, and they want to hide some of these things. No, you understand? It shows that you know the level, you know what you are doing, you know what you have done, you know what you have not done. So people should not come and ask you questions on what you have not done. That's what it just means. It's not like, you know, it's a limitation. Why didn't you fix it? You can't fix everything, my brother. So thank you so much.
Okay, Dr. Yahaya, this is the final question. The question is from Abdullahi Ololade Olalere. Good evening, sir. I acknowledge your insightful presentation, sir. As we are now in the era of AI and as it can be used for research, is it compulsory that my report must still be 100% human generated after it has been examined by AI detector, or there's a certain percentage of generated allowable that could be there?
Okay. Thank you so much. I think the question I would have loved to engage Abdullahi is, look at the word you use. You say my reports. Why didn't you say my and AI reports? We have to be truthful. Do you understand me? Generated, you know, there are reports, like some papers now, some international journals tell us that this research is done by me and AI. Because the reason is, when we want to train, do you see what? Most of the things we are doing right now, we are giving input. We are the one generating primary knowledge. It's like a tailor. You are a tailor. You claim to be a tailor. You say you want to soap. Okay, Abi, what do you? I've forgotten. Like, there are so many businesses that will say it's handmade. Do you understand me? How do you feel when somebody say handmade, and you now went and see that they were using machine to sew it? Do you understand me? If it is machine made, tell them it's machine made. Why will you say handmade and you are using machine made? So we shouldn't mislead ourselves. If it is AI generated, tell them, look, but the business you are in is a business of coming to learn how to write. And when you learn how to write, we want you to display that I've learned how to write, not that I've learned how something else will be writing for me. We have not gotten to that level. Do you understand me? Level of you using AI to be productive is, for me, for an instance, that when you finish school, see, I don't get the example I want to use, but just understand it. This is a training you are giving somebody. Do you understand me now? It's like, okay, telling somebody, you are teaching the person how to move from one point to the other. What you are teaching the person how to move from one point to the other is using a car, drive a car. The person now use an aeroplane and come to that point. Will you now say the person has learned how to drive car by using an aeroplane to come? I'm teaching you how to ride a car from Lagos to Benin. But I now said, okay, take the car, come to Benin and come and meet me. And then I saw you in 5 minutes. You're already in Benin. I said, how did you get here? You say, I use a plane. It's plane, not a technology. But now you are not expecting me to certify you that you know how to drive a car. No. The certification you are getting is certification of you building a project. Is the certification of you knowing how to build a project. So get the difference between the two. Do you understand me? For me today now, you have called me for this presentation. Using AI, not using AI is my own choice. You want me to deliver a presentation because you believe I know how to deliver. Do you understand me now? So if I've done it with AI, I've not done it, that is my own choice. And for me, I choose to do it with AI. You understand? Because I know definitely this AI is spinning nonsense. I'll know what to correct. Do you understand me? And of course, you know, I delivered on what I want to do. But if this examination is to show me, to examine me how to write, it will be criminal for me to use AI. For you now, you are saying I should certify you that you know how to write, how to craft a problem statement, how to craft a literature review. You understand? Not certification that you have, you understand, deliver the project. The certification is that you know how to what? Deliver the project. I don't know if that answers your question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yeah, we really appreciate your input so far. And we also appreciate your time. Thanks for attending to all the questions so far. Adekunle, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank
Okay,
you,
please, the floor is yours.
Bennett. And thank you again, Dr. Yaya. It was really wonderful hearing from you and getting a sip of your expertise. So it's been wonderful so far, and I've learned a lot, and I believe it's the same with everybody present on the call. So we spent a lot of time already. So it's about we've been on the uh, event for about 1 hour, 4 minutes. So we'll be rounding up quickly. But before I call on our founder, Balogun, to give a closing remark, so I'd love you to give the students present and the attendees generally a final word. So on how to approach your research work. So a final thought that you'd love to give to the students and would be a thing that would be magical and would remain forever in their life as an upcoming researcher. So thank you so much. We'd love to have that before our founder comes in, Dr. Yaya. Hey, I think his network is fluctuating again. Hopefully, he comes back soon. So, our founder, Mr. Balogun, is still here with us. So, we'd love you to give us a closing remark and a goodbye speech. And basically, before he comes on, there are some links that have been shared on the chat space. So the link to the LinkedIn profile of our speaker, Dr. Yaya, the profile link of our founders page, mine as well, and some others, and also the link to our WhatsApp platform has been shared on the chat space. So ensure that you join the WhatsApp platform because so many information will be shared and the slides for this specific workshop will be shared on the platform. So if you're here to join the platform, kindly join the platform and you should share with friends as well. So ensure that you're not the only person benefiting from this, but you have other people, your friends, acquaintances, and others benefit from this wonderful platform that we've given to students. So ensure you share the link. It's in the chat space. So while our founder gives us the closing remark for today's event.
All right, thank you very much. There's nothing much to say anymore. I appreciate you and everyone who organized the program, and also everyone who came to the program. It just shows how intentional we are. We still have people in the academic sector that are intentional about contribution, impactful contribution in that space. So it's something that is very, very important, and I know that these are the people that own the future, because we are the ones that are going to get it right, and we are the ones that are going to scale it up. So thank you so much for everyone, and you all should have great days ahead. And we'll also catch up together in the student forum, where we share more opportunities and other, other engagements that we have in stock. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you again. Babatunde, thank you so much for that. So anticipate more workshops from ResearchGain. So we're having some other workshops coming up soon. So ensure that you join our platform so that you can stay updated about upcoming workshops and other opportunities. Thank you again for joining us this evening.
Adekunle, sorry, finally, I would like to especially appreciate Doctor for the insightful and impactful knowledge that he passed across to us. I also learned, we are all learning, so we learn till death, right? So thank you, Doctor. We really appreciate, and we hope for so much engagement that will disrupt Nigeria in positive ways through impactful research. Thank you.
All right. Thank you again. All right. Have a wonderful evening, everybody, till we meet again. Bye-bye.
Bye.